Hi, I'm Dana Harris. I'm the editor-in-chief of IndieWire, and we're here to talk about achievement in music written for motion pictures, the Oscar nomination for Best Original Score.
This will go to John Williams, who's very old, has had more nominations, I think 48, than anybody in the history of the universe.
Walt Disney had more, but he's the most nominated living
Alive,
human being.
thank
yes.
you.
Yeah.
And it's a very restrained, very contained, beautiful lyrical score. I think it'll be Williams.
There are two soundtracks that were left off of this that I think are bonkers. They weren't here. Beast of the Southern Wild.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is just an album that you want to just put on.
Yep.
Period. It's just it's great music, and it works so beautifully within the film. And even though the movie I know was a bomb and nobody likes it except for me and Jen, the Cloud Atlas score is gorgeous.
Good.
It's gorgeous.
good.
It's crazy that it's not on here. And
Both of those scores were composed by their directors.
which I think is
is
cool
interesting.
too,
Yeah,
right?
Tickfer.
That's super
Tom
cool.
Tickfer.
Tom Tickfer, yeah.
And Zeitlin.
That's interesting. Actually, it's like in the Beast snub surprises me more because I was blown away by that score. I just thought this is just great, and the fact that it was the director who did it, that was crazy. But I also wonder in this category if films don't get dinged a little bit if they aren't successful elsewhere. It's like, you know, it would be kind of bizarre if Cloud Atlas showed up here and when it hadn't showed up anywhere
It's
else.
been shut out completely.
But
You know,
Anna Karenina?
That's true.
that's a beautiful score. Really.
It's nice.
It's harmless, but it doesn't, I don't know, it didn't stay with me.
I like Anna Karenina a lot as a movie.
me
I'm a
too.
big fan of
Me
that
too. I
movie.
put
The
it on my top
score is
10.
not what I walked
Yeah.
out with. And in fact, I actually walked out and said I wish it had been a musical because he comes right up to the edge and doesn't quite go over it. But
You're right.
and I think if the score had been bigger, I think I would have liked it. So it feels like a weird addition here, and I can't imagine it possibly winning.
What do you guys think about the music from Skyfall, the score?
I think Thomas Newman did a brilliant job, and it's the biggest, most orchestral score he's ever done. It was kind of a stretch for him. He had worked with Sam Mendes before on American Beauty, and so he came back and had to do a very tricky matter of threading in the theme and all the Adele music and all the other stuff and still make it his own. And I think he did a great job. But for that reason, I don't think it gets, you know, it's not, I don't think people see it as a new score.
Outside of Adele.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
All you see is Adele. All you hear is Adele.
I quite like the way that in the score, the way that he does when he finally hits those themes, where they come in. I think it's really wonderful. It's very reserved, and it comes in right at the right moment when they open the door and there's the car, and then the theme kicks in. It's perfect. It's really well done.
Amazing sequence when they're floating in over, is it Shanghai? Is that where they're going?
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's also, though, I would use your argument against you, actually, on that because people will associate it with Adele and that song, I think it works in its favor for a lot of people who don't think of the composer in the same way. They just think of it as a general feeling of the entire film, musically. It really stayed with me.
Maybe that will.
But it's also Thomas Newman, who's been nominated, I think, 10 times and never won. So sometimes this has nothing to do with the movie.
Right.
No, that's absolutely true.
Sometimes it's the guy who's overdue.
Lightning round. Who's your pick to win?
Original score is a toughie. I'm going to go with Skyfall.
Jen?
I like your John Williams logic. I'm going to say John Williams for Lincoln.
Devin?
John Williams for Lincoln.
Ann?
John Williams.
Yeah, I'm going to go John Williams as well.
I'm going to suggest to you that Joaquin was the 5th slot,
Wow.
that he barely squeaked in.
I'm terrified of Silver Linings Playbook. I'm terrified of the Weinstein machine.
Zero Dark 30 didn't do to me what Hurt Locker did to me.